Well, good morning from our Airbnb here in Florida. As you might notice behind me, there's no Appa Glide. That's because today Jordan is riding the Sportster S from the Blockhead Garage and I'm riding my Dyna. We're heading over to the Blockhead Garage right now and installing some super fun parts on Appa. All right, well, we got my big boy up on the lift and I am here at the Blockhead Garage with Chris, master level Harley technician, 87 years in the business.
87.
Well, that's
Wow.
what.
I'm old.
Yeah, I'm getting old. You look great, man. So Chris, tell me what we're doing today.
Well, Harley sent you a bunch of boxes. So we opened them this morning and we found some Screaming Eagle Ohlin's collab rear suspension. They sent you a 447 torque cam.
Yep.
Updated oil pump. They updated to the 8 love with the seal. You and I, we talked, we opted to make these black while we're there.
Yep.
And then the only other little goodies was we have adjustable push rods because that's going to be required for the cam.
Yep.
And you get a nice little timer cover they sent you that's going to have 107 stage 2 on it.
Hey, that's great. I like that. So we're basically doing an upgraded performance cam for torque, which is important to me. I don't really need horsepower. I need to get up to speed quickly, which is what I enjoy.
Sorry to cut you off, you know what I just realized? That's not going to work on that cover, so that was cool. Nice of them to send it.
Yeah, they sent me a
Bummer.
cute little plate, but yeah. Oh well, A for effort.
Thanks for the thought.
So yep, we're doing an upgraded cam and an upgraded suspension. Let's get to work. We have one more thing. What is that? What?
Vivid black oil cooler cover. So
Where does that go?
That one lives here.
Oh!
I pulled your black plastic one off. This is what the stock one looked like.
Oh!
So we'll have that.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a lot nicer.
Yeah,
Did they send that?
they did.
Thanks, Harley. Oh, this video is also sponsored by Harley-Davidson and Blockhead Garage. All right, well, plot twist, I've been watching. Chris was getting into the guts and found out that the bike already has adjustable push rods, which means it already has a cam. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar, I bought this bike used and we didn't know what all had been done to it unless it was on the service record. And I never saw any kind of aftermarket cams on any service record. So we're about to find out what cam is already in this bike and whether or not it's the same as the one that we're trying to put in. So it's an adventure. We're all gonna find out.
On same cam.
Chris thinks it's the same cam.
$20, same cam.
I don't have 20 bucks, but I kind of believe you. It's like, what else would you put in it at this point? So let's find out.
I think you've heard it, and many people have heard it. It doesn't sound very aggressive, so it's a mild,
Yeah.
probably a Screaming Eagle cam.
He said it's a milder cam because it just doesn't have that like aggressiveness to it, which is, oh, okay. So we're gonna find out.
All right, so your cam is.
Dun, dun, dun.
Look, and you have an updated oil pump already.
Oh,
See, someone's already been in here and did it right.
yep.
So this cam, it's the 447, exact same cam.
It's the exact same.
My money was on the same cam.
Well, now we have a decision to make.
Dilemma.
Well, now we have to figure out what we want to do. Can't put the same cam back in because that defeats the purpose. Let's do some shopping.
498 Screaming Eagle cam. This is a 515. So what you have now is a torque cam. It's more to a square. It's closer to a square. This is much longer duration. This creates much more horsepower. Same torque. This and this, actually, this probably produces a little bit more torque than this one even. But this produces torque and has horsepower. It also has a really good load. So when it idles, it's like put up.
So I was wondering where the actual torque curve and the horsepower curve
Hi, Zuko. Hi, buddy. All right, well, what just happened over the last 40 minutes is the exact reason why sometimes I would like to have a camera crew. Long story short, I bought my motorcycle used from a private seller. Faro Harley-Davidson went and picked the motorcycle up for me, and I was able to finance my bike through Faro. So I technically bought my bike through Faro, but we found it used private sale out of New Hampshire. Beautiful motorcycle, had exactly everything I wanted on it. So when I agreed to put in a torque cam, I didn't know that it already had the Harley-Davidson Screaming Eagle torque cam. The reason I didn't know that is because I couldn't find it on any history. I could see all of the services, I could see all of the upgrades that the previous owner has done to the bike. If it wasn't on a service record, I could physically see it on a motorcycle. We've never been into the guts of this bike before, so I had no idea that it already had the exact same cam that we were about to put in it. So it went into a huge debacle of, what do we do? Do we just put the torque cam back in it and give it like a crazy tune, trying to get more power? Or should we look outside of the cam that I already have and maybe put a different cam in it? So I think after a bunch of screaming and just gonna quit it all, gonna start over, put everything back in, call it a wash, I think we agreed that since the bike is already up on the lift, we're gonna go ahead and put an S&S 475 cam in it, and then we're gonna dyno tune it. And this we're gonna find out what this is like, because you guys know me, I like a smooth ride, I like to tour, and I really did enjoy the way my bike performed with the torque cam that I didn't even know was in it. It was peppy, it was quick, I enjoyed it, but I think since we're already here and we're doing this, might as well see how much horsepower we can get out of it. Let's go back. So Chris, what are we doing? I already kind of explained, but you know what you're doing.
What did you say? Basically,
I said we screamed and yelled and I quit, and then we decided to put it all back together and do the 475 S&S cam.
Yeah, so we changed manufacturers basically.
We changed manufacturers.
Where is the cam? There it is.
Oh.
If you want to look at it.
Yep.
So the difference is, here, All right. So do you notice, remember you and I kind of did this, right?
Yeah. Chris explained everything to me already, so we're just doing this for you guys on camera.
Yeah, so basically the big difference between these, other than timing, for visually, you see how this is a bit more pointy and this is a bit more squared off?
That's a crocodile, that's an alligator.
Basically, yeah. And this, less power. This is more power.
Yep. That's all you need to know, more power. So after Chris and Blockhead both trying so hard to convince me that we need more power, more sound, more low, but I'm like, you guys, I ride like 16 hours a day on this bike sometimes. I need it to be smooth and quiet, not quiet. Like, I like a loud bike. You guys have heard the Dyna, but when you're riding for that long, it's a lot. And they hate me. He almost kicked me out. He's like, you guys are speed shop's worst nightmare.
I said that. I did.
He said it, yeah. You admit.
I got it a header for you, but we can't, we're not going to use that either because it's too loud.
Yeah, so he has this header and he was like, we can put that on. He's like, it's going to sound great. I'm like, I bet it will. But when I'm doing 1,000 miles a day, I bet it won't.
Well,
I mean, I would love to have a louder exhaust, but I know what it sounds like, and it's not fun when you ride long distance. Okay, we're about to start it for the first time with a new cam and a different exhaust. Well, different headers. I like it. I'm learning. Chris has actually been a really great teacher. He speaks in layman's terms, which is what I need.
what did I say? I called $20 or something? Didn't I?
You did?
I did, yeah.
And these ones. Woo!
Do you want to stand here and watch me drill? Because it's not very exciting.
Yeah.
Sure, when Chris does it.
Well, the clothes have changed because it is the next day. We got a little carried away with time yesterday trying to figure out what to do with the updated cam, but we're back this morning. Chris is about to dyno tune the bike, and I'm just really excited to ride it. So we got the Ohlin's suspension put on yesterday. Oh, I love it. I'm excited to see what that feels like. And then this morning, got his little holes drilled in so that we can hook it up to the dyno jet and do the tune. I honestly thought this bike was stock, and I feel really stupid for not knowing that it already had a cam in it, but we decided, like, well, since it already had a cam and you were coming here kind of wanting some more power, let's go ahead and put some more power in it. So this is gonna ride like a whole new motorcycle. I can't wait. Got a brand new oil cooler cover, right? Did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it right.
Said it right.
Did I get enough on there?
Dyno time! He looks all naked without his bags. Just shut the doors. Appa is getting his tune. I'm ready to hear it like start up. We're just gonna go listen. It's so much louder.
And you probably would be 128. I don't even know.
Okay.
Once we put the clutch in it, we'll find out.
All right.
But that's what we're looking at the moment with the clutch. So.
Cool. I just showed you guys that little graph, and you didn't hear it. Chris came out and he had a very somber look on his face, and I was like, uh-oh. That little divot in the graph, that means I have a slipping clutch, which makes total sense, dude. It's a 33,000 mile original clutch, and of course when you put that much power in it and get on it, it's slipping. So it's a wear and tear part, and now we have to find a new clutch. This super easy like cam install and suspension project is now turning into basically a full bike rebuild. So show you right here, this area, I don't know if you can hear it because it's windy in here, but that area where it dips down is where the clutch is slipping, and that makes a lot of sense. So the adventure continues. Appa's gonna be a whole new bike. Here we are again. This was supposed to be a couple-hour project, and I was telling Chris earlier, I'm like, you know when you own an old home and you don't want to really like do any repairs or tear into the wall because you're terrified of what you're gonna find? It's kind of like working on a motorcycle. You're like, we're just gonna do a cam. 48 hours later, doing a clutch. We've added a bunch of little things on this bike, so.
Smoke that clutch.
Smoke the clutch. You know why the clutch went out? It wasn't the power, it was Atlanta traffic. Yep. So it's just slipping because it's a wear and tear item, or because it's not, okay, yeah.
It's designed the weak point, I guess. I mean, it's not designed to be the weak point. Let me retract that statement. But it is the weak point once you start delivering a lot of power.
Yep.
This is a weak point, although you're not building a 150 foot-pounds, but
no.
This is a weak point. The clutch is a weak point, and you would rather have those go than the transmission.
Yes, please.
Or the belt.
Yes,
or,
please.
Everything else down the line.
Belt's still looking pretty good.
Yeah, belt's good. Be fine for
so obviously, since we're putting in a new clutch, he's gonna have to put it back on the dyno, and I will give you guys the final numbers at the end of this video, so stay tuned. Okay, so Chris told me that we still have to put it back on the dyno to get the final numbers, but he's like, go ahead and fire it up and snap the throttle a couple times and you'll notice a difference. So this is my first time.
difference.
Instant.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I liked your face. As soon as you were like,
I know. We got the numbers up on the screen. So, Chris, what are we running?
I don't know if you can hear me with the background noise.
We might. This close you can.
You're sitting at 119 and 119 foot-pounds and a 105 horsepower.
But we made it over 100.
Yeah, on both.
Okay, okay. We got triple or six figures. That's all I wanted.
I was
triple
hoping
digits.
for 120 to 125. Got 119. I mean, that's really close.
For torque?
Yeah.
Okay.
You also have an older, I don't want to say older.
It is
but you
older.
have an
It's
engine
a 4-year-old.
That's got 35,000 miles on it now. And we don't really know the history, so.
Nope.
And it gets worked hard. So it
It's
might
ridden.
not be producing its peak at the moment.
That's the
Might
thing.
need
See,
some rings and stuff.
he's talking to me right now with like a slight disappointment. I don't care. Like, I don't need the numbers. I need a good, reliable, fun, fast
Well,
bike,
it is
and
now.
that's what we're doing.
It is
so.
now.
Yeah, I'll put the sheet up on the screen so you can see what we're working with. But got a brand new clutch and everything. It's a whole new bike.
New suspension, new clutch.
New clutch.
Cam,
Yeah, new cam.
exhaust,
Kind of a new exhaust. We did put a new header on it, and it sounds amazing. So we're gonna go take this bike out for a test ride, and I can't wait to show you what we're working with. Thank you. Okay. The moment of truth. Time for the test ride. But I need to go get my gloves, which are on my Dyna. So Chris has been meticulous and very honest telling me the things that are going to be different about this bike. And I have also been very honest about telling him how I enjoy riding this motorcycle. So for me, this is a touring bike and I want to be able to tour comfortably. So not having a super, super loud exhaust is an important thing for me, but we did add some upgraded headers, which are decat, which for me personally is lovely because it's less heat. I'm from Ohio. Emissions regulations are TBD, so I'm not too worried about that. We also did the 475 S&S cam, as well as you can see them here without the bags. The beautiful, let's see here, the Screamin' Eagle Ohlin's suspension. So I'm basically running the Harley-Davidson Battle of the Baggers bike right now. So what he told me to do is to go ahead, hop on the bike, take it for a test ride, take it down the highway, and just see how we feel. So let's go ahead, start her up now. Initial thoughts, it's actually not that much louder at idle, just has a better lope. Oh my god, the bike weighs completely different without the bags on. Whoa. Wow. Okay, so I know I didn't give you a proper before ride. It's a whole new bike, man. So I was just telling this to Jordan a couple days ago. The thing I disliked about my bike a while ago. And also, this is way before I actually knew I had a torque cam in it. I had no idea. But I was like doing any kind of low speed maneuvering, low speed riding was very twitchy. And I didn't know that I already had a torque cam in it. So no wonder, like, the bike was trying to go with that Screaming Eagle torque cam. It's like, come on, let's go. We're torquey. This one is definitely a lot smoother than I thought it would be. Oh, it sounds like a proper Harley. I'm also trying to feel out the suspension right now. And it's almost kind of hard for me to gauge the suspension because I don't have the bags on it. Not that the bags add a whole ton of weight, but they do make a difference actually. So once I get on the highway or maybe go over a couple, yeah, those bumps, that still feels pretty stiff. So we might have to go over a couple bridge transitions and really see how the suspension and whether we need to soften it up or what. Wow, it feels like a whole new bike. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and hop on I-4, kind of take it on the highway and see how old boy feels. Well, well, there's not really much we can say about taking him on the highway when traffic is coming to a standstill. It's a pretty view though. Ooh. It does have more top end power that I'm not 100% used to, so that's exciting. Still handles super smooth. That was the real issue I was concerned about when I was talking to Chris. I was like, you know, I bought this bike to tour. I didn't buy this bike to be like a hot bike or win any drag races. You know, I bought this bike to travel the country, and it just feels like he handles lovely. This is great. Man, I was kind of hoping there would be a little more drama like this entire build has been. You know, I'd hop on and I'm like, oh, it's too powerful. It's a wheelie machine, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, this is lovely. And I don't know if you guys know me. I can hop on a very, very, very powerful motorcycle, but I treat all bikes with equal respect. You know, I don't hop on and twist the throttle and rip wheelies and do anything that's crazy. I ride normally. And that's what I'm doing right now. You know, I'm doing 70 miles an hour actually, which is, wow. Yeah, the RPMs are very low for me for 70 miles an hour. Usually I'm pushing 3,000 RPM, which is the exact reason I hopped on the highway right now, because when I'm touring the country, on average, I'm doing 75, 80, 85 miles an hour on these interstates. And right now we're on I-4, perfect example. Unfortunately, it's pretty much busy time in Florida I-4 traffic. So I cannot do 80 miles an hour. And we're cruising at about 2,400 RPM, and the bike is loving it. And I'm also in 6th gear, so dropping it down a gear, you get a little more pep in your step. I don't know, man, it just feels good. I was worried it was going to be too loud, but if you keep those RPMs low, it sounds excellent. And that's the thing I was excited for with a new cam. And this is probably one reason I should have assumed that the bike already had a cam in it, is because it wasn't exceptionally loud. But personally, it had a good lope, and I really did enjoy the lope of the bike. But I definitely enjoy this lope a lot more. So, yep. I think I'm going to go ahead and give this bike the seal of approval. I love what we did to it. I want to thank Harley-Davidson for sending me the cam, the suspension. Unfortunately, we ended up not even using the Screaming Eagle torque cam because the bike already had the torque cam. So I feel like an idiot. That was a fail on my part. Nobody knew. It wasn't on a service record. Even my own dealer didn't know. They kept asking me if I had a cam, and I was like, I don't know. I bought the bike used. So huge shout out to Blockhead Garage for having a cam that I can put into it, since we were already tearing into the bike. It just kind of made sense. And so far, talking about the Screaming Eagle Ohlin suspension, the reason I was very excited to get that suspension on is because it's adjustable. And for me, adjustability is super important because my load on the bike changes all the time, honestly. Like sometimes it's just me. Sometimes I have 1,000,000 pounds worth of camping gear. Sometimes I have passengers. I really do. So having an adjustable suspension was very important to me. And going over those highways and those bridge transitions, I kind of forgot to talk about it because I didn't even notice it. So that, I would call that a win in itself, by itself.
Like I felt like it's on a lease. No, those are nice ass glasses.
Oh, they're $4. I f***ing love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think I would change a thing.
Power good?
Power's
delivery?
excellent.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is it where you want it when you want it?
Yes, dude. I don't want to say this on camera. Yeah, I'm recording, but so that's all I was really worried about.
Okay. So you can do 20 in a school zone and not be like...
It's not lurchy, dude. It's very smooth. I am. Like, that's the thing. I was telling them. I was like, dude, I don't drive like an asshat. So it's great. I love it.
Dude, I can't wait to hear it because now I'm like, oh, you said good stuff.
I mean, like, I try to always say good stuff, but... So that's the thing. The rear suspension felt excellent on the highway, but going over some normal bumps, I was like, oh, shit, this still feels kind of rough. But it felt good on the highway.
Softened it a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
Like that. Now, he did set it up for you loaded.
Yeah.
Not loaded.
And dude, I almost dumped the bike just backing it out because there's no bags. I'm not used to like not having weight. I was like, whoa, God, all the weight's up here.
So good choice of cam then?
I think so.
All right.
I think it was a good choice. Good choice.